I've spent the last 20 years analyzing the global restaurant business from the inside out. I've studied the consumer habits and actions that feed this business every day. Innovation is found in places where few might look. It's where the real heartbeat of the restaurant business lies. Sometimes it's beneath the known Michelin stars or the glitz and the glamour of the posh addresses of the best restaurant districts in the business. I'm Paul Barron, and this is my show. And I'm in search of amazing food, stellar service, and that unforgettable experience. Welcome to Table 42. At Area 31 on Table 42. That's a tough thing to say, but guys, thanks so much for inviting us in your restaurant. An interesting place you guys have invited us into, kind of this oasis. It's 16 floors high. First, before we get started, let's learn a little bit about you, chef, and kind of your background and a little history about where you come from in the city of Miami.
Born in Germany, came to this country in '92, came to Miami first time in 9/11. Came here, ran a hotel in Coconut Grove, the Grand Bay Hotel, left, came back to open up the Casa Casuarina, the old Versace mansion that was in 2004, left again in 2007, and then came back.
So you're getting all parts of this city.
I get all parts, yeah.
Guys, let's kind of break down the menu. Some of the things that are really unique about this show is we get a chance to explore really culinary innovation from chefs and how it affects the industry. Chef, let's start off with the lobster dish.
Obviously born in Europe and trained in Europe, so the idea of every dish is the foundation of classic cooking, and I'm really strong on that to keep that up, that history. So we used fennel that is grown here in Florida and some tarragon, really nice and refreshing sauce. And the lobster is very classically cooked in a beurre monté, which is a butter sauce, but we added some lemongrass, some ginger, some Maya lemon skin.
Dean, how would you pair that up with a cocktail?
So when we made the cocktail, we used genepi, little vermouth. We used noli prat, which has a nice herbal and floral notes, little lemon juice, and some Saint Germain just to add a little of that floral note. And then we put the thyme, and then we kind of charred the thyme.
As we go into dish two, this looks like something I'd see in New York.
Yeah.
So kind of what was your idea behind what you prepared here?
Lots of product that we actually use in the kitchen. We're using a lot of octopus. We're using about anywhere between 80 to 100 pounds a week. And that's a dish that I actually had in New York.
Interesting.
At Maria. And we're using a lot of bone marrow also. So the idea was really to marry this together. Instead of doing an old classic bordelaise sauce that is with bone marrow, we braised the octopus for 6 hours in a good tomato sauce with some veal stock and some bone marrow. And then we're using also local kale that grows locally.
Okay.
To give some bitterness to the sweetness of the tomato.
Interesting. So that's obviously got a lot of hearty ingredients in there.
Very hearty, yeah.
Yeah, so I talked to chef also about the ingredients, but the whole thing, the dish, like you said, it's a hearty dish. It's a homey dish. It makes you feel good. So why not have a beer cocktail? Kind of the perception of having a beer with a homey meal.
That's the prettiest beer I've seen. Dish three here, this is an interesting one.
Yeah.
You've kind of gone off the reservation here. What is that?
What I really wanted to do is bring out all the flavors of the components that I'm using. So we're basically making a puree out of artichokes. We smoke fingerling potatoes with some hay and some hickory wood. And we make a dressing that is out of squid ink, aged balsamic, and small Tajeska olives.
It's a lot of components, but you can taste everything individually and every flavor profile individually of each ingredient, and you can also taste them all together and it blends in.
Right.
So it's a perfect dish by itself. So I chose to make a cocktail that actually will clean you as a palate cleanser as you go through flavors and switch between single ingredients or a complex or all together. So it's dry sherry, a little bit of vermouth, cocky Americano vermouth, also Italian vermouth, and a little bit of lemon juice.
This dish right here, dish 4, what are we doing here? Because you're kind of using a bit of almost a salad approach here, but it's not. So what are you doing?
It's a warm dish, love beans, and we cook that in a stock that is made from the ruby red shrimps, which is from the Area 31 area. We have nice, beautiful ruby red shrimps and sear them with some Brussels sprouts, local heirloom tomatoes that also grow here in Miami.
So Dean, obviously this sets you up for your home run here, I'm sure, right? You know, most cocktails I like to drink. This one is a different approach. We have to use a fork and knife for this.
That's right. We always used to drink a cocktail in a liquid form in a glass.
Yeah.
We all do that. So why not change that perception and actually get involved in eating your cocktail and actually touching it and feeling it and smelling it, have different textures, so it's a whole different experience. We have black pepper infused gin, lime juice, raw ginger syrup, and then carrot juice. And we cook it, put the gelatin, let it set, and then we cut cubes out of it. The sauce on the plate is a sour passion fruit sauce. You could eat it, each component by itself. You could put all the components together, and it's a different feeling. It's a different experience.
Beautiful. What's the name of that cocktail?
We don't have a name for it.
It's the unnamed.
That's the unnamed.
We could call this one the T42. So Gino, here we are again on the outside, really the front of the house here at Area 31. Downtown, beautiful Miami across Biscayne Bay. You guys have got the perch of the city here.
Very fortunate.
A lot of times though, restaurants that are elevating what they're doing from a culinary aspect or from a beverage aspect, it's hard to pair that with a perfect front of house. Now you guys of course have kind of hit a home run here.
Well, obviously you're always going to want to look at providing a unique experience, and that is obviously something that you look at your market and you see what's going to set you apart in that market.
Yep.
What we looked at whenever we looked at this market that we felt might have been lacking that we could provide was that sense of a warm experience. So we have a very passionate and knowledgeable front of the house crew, and they're very excited to talk about what Dean's doing in the bar and what Chef Wolfgang Birk is doing in the kitchen. So it's a beautiful opportunity. Oftentimes you get a view, but the food might be lacking. Oftentimes you get that amazing food, but the view may be lacking. Here you're gonna get that whole package.
Gino, thanks so much for letting us stop in here at Area 31. We've really had a chance to kind of see what you guys are all about from a cocktail standpoint, but also from a very innovative menu standpoint. That is one of the things that's so hard to do in the restaurant business. You guys have hit it out of the park. This has been a great day. Thanks for letting us come in.
Glad to have you. Thank you for coming.